Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
All right, thank you, Mr. Producer. We are back, and I'm joined by the one and only Miss Julie Gasior. Julie, nice to see you on the video here, and glad you're with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How are you, Casey?
Good,
Good
thank
to be
you.
here.
Why don't you tell people? I know you're an intuitive life coach, but tell people a little bit about yourself. Unlock your shine. Excuse me. Unlock Your Shine today, which is the website too. But tell us a little bit about yourself and Unlock Your Shine, please.
As an intuitive life coach, what it is that I can do is I can connect in with people's higher selves, get messages, clear limiting beliefs, and these limiting beliefs show up that keep us small. And so we want to clear that stuff out so that we can step into our own greatness and live a beautiful life. As you said, my website is Unlock Your Shine. YOUR, not the other way.
Right.
And you can either go there, you could email me at julie@unlockyourshine.com or call 609-902-8335.
So if we could just reiterate just before our great topic today, you're going to tell us today about something so important, which is intuition. I got to tell you, not until later in life did I know what that was, or learn to trust it, and to connect who we truly are, to connect to who we truly are. That's going to be our topic today. It's a great one, by the way. But if you could tell the audience your amazing story and how you went on this spiritual path, and then you met Sonia and got some work. Yeah. Can you tell us that? Just give us a little revamp on that, so people who didn't hear your other shows know what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So I've always been searching, like reaching for happiness in my life, and always kind of coming up short. So I've done a lot of different techniques and tools to, get out of my self-doubt, get out of my disappointment in life. It was like this circle of constant disappointment and doubt going on. And even when I would do these other techniques, I would get a little bit of happiness, and then the self-doubt would just shut it down. And then I watched this movie, Beyond the Secret, and one of the speakers in there, Daniel Recknixer, spoke some words that just it spoke
Made
to
so
me,
much sense.
called to me.
Yeah.
Yes. He talked about like how we look outside of ourselves for answers, and how we are looking for more but feel less. And I just wanted to know more. And so I did. I reached, I found their website, intuitionwisdom.com, and I ended up doing some of the training. And the beautiful thing about this training and about life is that we all have access. We all have the capability to tune into our higher selves, clear our own limiting beliefs, and find life that is beautiful, and live into our best life and our greatness, because we don't even know. I would not even have guessed before doing this that I am this light that is just beautiful and radiant, and I'm loved. Like, I feel that now, and I didn't feel that way before. So my life now is not in that circle. It moves in this flow, which is just beautiful. And when self-doubt shows up, I'm able to clear it out of the way and just keep going. So it's been a beautiful journey, and I just would love everyone to be doing this work.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. And it's a great inspiration for people to hear that, because how many people are on that wheel? Everybody knows what that's like, and that's no fun. But how your life is transformed, how much do you think it is because now you're in service to other people and you're bringing them up? How much do you think that is changing the way that you view things? Because It's no longer about you and that wheel. So you got this knowledge and this gift to help other people, bring them up. Is that helping, you think? Oh, I got frozen. Julie, can you hear me now? I lost you, Julie.
Yeah.
I don't hear. Oh, now I got you. Okay. Julie,
Yeah, we're
did you hear my
back.
question? Did we cut out on my question?
No, I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
No, sorry.
So what I was saying is that how much of it was a long question too, but the long and short of it is, how much do you think that your service now for other people and bringing them up and helping them find a way through your gift and through what you have gone through the education and the learning, how much is your happiness based now on not other people, but now bringing them up to what you know and what you can show them?
Well, it's a beautiful thing to inspire people. Like the ability to just talk to someone and have them be in a certain space, and then to just feel them lift up is incredible. Um, and I love that feeling. I love being able to do that for myself, and then to be able to gift it to someone else is really quite amazing.
Yeah, I bet.
And so it makes it easy to, just want to keep sharing it.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So I'm happy for one that you saw that, and that person on the movie was talking to you and got you into this, because I can't imagine how many other people that you've helped because of that one experience. So you never know what's going to change the recipe for people's lives, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Cool. So I want to learn what is intuition in your definition.
So we all have access to intuition. And really, all it is our soul speaking to us. So what happens is we have this connection to our true self, our higher self, but it gets blocked by this self-doubt. And the self-doubt resides in that subconscious mind limiting belief arena. Because that part of us is coming from the space of wanting to protect us, wanting to keep us small, wanting to keep us safe. And it's scary to think of being in your greatness, or stepping into who you truly are, because then you actually have to show yourself. You actually have to be in the world instead of hiding away from the world. And it's we've been trained by how we grew up that these thoughts that we have are the truth. We actually believe in fear. We actually believe in life is hard, or I'm not enough, or whatever it is. And the interesting thing is the opposite is true. Anything that's coming from your higher self is truth. So it's almost like flipping a switch for your thinking to be the non-truth, and to your higher self connection to be the truth. And so there is a shift there that you have to go through, because we've almost been brainwashed into this other way of being, and thinking that we are less than, and really we are splendid creatures. We are extraordinary in so many ways, and each one of us has a gift that we can bring to the world. Your gift is unique to you, and mine is unique to me, but we all have these gifts. But so many of us keep them hidden because we're afraid to be rejected, or you know whatever we could come up with to be afraid. And as you start looking inside of yourself, and connecting with your true self message, and looking less outside of yourself for affirmation, you start hearing that voice, that intuition, that guidance in a clearer and clearer way. It just takes time to almost like tune down the volume of that ego thought process and turn up the volume of your true self,
Uh,
because your true self will guide you in perfection, because your true self, your soul, knows what's going to happen. There's a perspective there that we don't have down here, in our physicality, in our physical beings. So, think about, and, bringing this up is a little sensitive, but think about 9/11. There were a lot of people that didn't show up to work that day. What was that? What made them not get on the train and go into the city that day? Was it fluke? They happened to be sick that day? Or was there some message there like, hey, stay home today?
yeah, yeah, that's amazing.
And how many people, who knows how many people didn't listen to that and then went in anyway? I mean, obviously we won't know that, but I mean, that's an extreme case. But there are so many times when we get messages from our higher self, and we're not really sure what that is. We don't listen, and we could have avoided something, or something great could have happened, and we just didn't know how to listen. So it's about starting to tune into that part of yourself that really is there to guide you in this perfect way.
Gotcha. And thank you for that. Well said. But what I really want to know is, how do we learn when to trust our intuition and when to recognize that maybe it's just our paranoia? Or I'm just speaking of me. I can't speak for everyone else, but sometimes like I've been on a flight, and something tells me, say, don't go on that flight. And then I sit that one out and I wait for the next one, and it's fine, but there's something that makes me think that. So how do we know when to trust and when not? Or does that just come with time? What do you think?
Um, it comes with time. It
Yeah.
comes with intention. And, I've done that too, where I've been like, well, how do I know? How do I know?
Yeah.
But you can start by not making it so big, right? Like one exercise I'll do is I'll like, what color should I wear today? And just make it be whatever it is, and have that be the answer of a true self answer, and not worry about it. Like most times it's probably coming from your higher self, right? But it's like you're looking for proof that this is the right message and this isn't the right message.
Right.
And it's developing that trust with your higher self, because you've lost that connection, and you've lost what to trust in because of all this stuff. And so as you clear the stuff away, you start then developing that trust in your higher self.
And that true self, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
all that stuff it'll probably come from maybe a fear of flying or something like that. So you're doing it to yourself, really, right?
Right.
Understood. All right. Now, this is going to be it might be a question that nobody can answer, but I'm going to try anyway. How do we know when we are connecting to our true self? Is there any are there any are there any signs or something? Is there a feeling? Is it or you never get proof? Is that the thing that you just trust in it?
It shows up to me as, so when I first was learning to connect with my higher self, I was not having an easy time of it. And so finally I was like, well, show me some other way. I'm not getting it. And I visualized this, all of a sudden, this white, fluffy puppy jumped into my lap and started licking my face. And how do you feel, right? When you're around puppies, and babies, right? It's like, oh my God, you just love them for,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I love this puppy. And the message that I got was that that's what my higher self wants from me. She is bringing me that much unconditional love, and I have the ability to accept it or not. And so, whenever I would do the connection in the beginning, the fluffy puppy was there with me. So that was my indication that I was connected. And so then what I started doing was, I would acknowledge my higher self, and she would call me sweet baby girl. And that was then I, took that to mean that that was my connection, locking in. So it's just, coming up with a way to almost honor that connection and acknowledge that it's there.
I see. Thank you.
Does that
And
help?
yeah, it does. And one thing that you said, which I think we should, remind ourselves that this doesn't happen overnight. You got to get rid of these limiting beliefs. You got to do the work, and then you'll start to see. Then you'll be able to be more confident in being that higher self and trusting that intuition. Is that kind of what we're saying?
Yes, absolutely. In the beginning, it took time and it took work. The work isn't that hard, though. It's just actually stepping in and taking the time to clear what needs to be cleared, to take responsibility for whatever comes up, and to make sure that I'm bringing in as much self-love and self-belief into, my energy as possible, so that I could then do the next step and clear the next thing.
Gotcha.
But it really doesn't take as long as you think. It takes as long as stubborn as you are, right? So if you're going to be stubborn and want to hang on, it's going to take a little bit more time, but it
Right.
doesn't have to.
Okay. How long would it before I get there, what are some things that we can be doing to stop more limiting beliefs from being formed? I know we have to go back and do the work, but is sometimes do we create more as we get older, as much as we don't think we are? What do you think of that?
I'm not sure if we actually create more or if we're just compacting what we've already got going on.
I see.
Um, it's just starting to look at your thoughts that come up and to say, okay, I have that thought. Does that thought feel good to me or does it not? And if it doesn't feel good, it's probably non-truth. It's probably untrue. So, it's not about like taking affirmations and trying to pound them into your, brain. It's more about just allowing this subtle shift from this is not true. What could be true? So if the thought that comes up is, I'm going to get rejected, what if you try on a little bit that maybe someone will hear what you have to say and really like it? And just look into it by feeling into how you feel in yourself, in your body, and stop looking outside of yourself for proof or affirmation or acknowledgement from everyone else.
Right. Yeah. Well said. Well said. So how long does say the first session with you last? And can you take me through it?
Well, if we go past, right, if we have the 15-minute clear one limiting belief session, that's 50
Right.
minutes. But what would happen in like an hour session is I would first ask you if there's areas of your life that you wanted to pinpoint, or if you just wanted to see how it went, right? We have these areas of life, career, our connection, our family, relationships, and money. We have these health, we have these areas of life, and some people um, have higher levels in one than the other, and it ends up not being like a nice spoke on a wheel, right? So it's this disjointed um, creation, and so someone might want to work on abundance, whereas someone else might want to work on health. So
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be. Usually, people know what their problems are,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
will say, "This is what I want to work on first." So
Okay.
it's really about just getting their focus and then clearing what we can clear from that area
Okay.
and then move on to the next.
All right. All right. Thanks, Jules.
And I always like to, in addition to getting messages and clearing limiting beliefs, I also like to give some steps that they could do in between any sessions.
So, like homework, for better, lack of
Oh,
better term.
play.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I see. I can't read it, but I see there's a bunch of questions for you, Mr. Producer. What do you got for Julie?
We have Matt in Orlando wants to know, will our intuition give us a feeling about trusting another person?
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. That's a good question. Absolutely. Because when you're connected with your own intuition, when you're connected with your true self, you can actually feel if someone else is coming from a non-true space. Like if, let's say, you and I, Casey, we're talking and we didn't have a good rapport, this conversation would fall flat, or it
Right.
would be disjointed in some way. But because there's this nice flow between you and I, it feels really good. And, I like to do it. So I want to keep going. Right. So,
Yeah.
but if it wasn't, I would get this sense. So
I know what you mean.
absolutely, you can trust your instincts on other people.
Yeah, great. That's a good example. I know what you mean. Like, there's some people where it just doesn't feel right when you're communicating with them, and you could spend your time probably in a better way. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
It's just something you can't really put your finger on, but you know what I mean. What else, Mr. Producer? I see there's a whole bunch there, but do we got time for another one? Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah, we got Gina in Charlotte, and she wants to know, can certain relationships cloud our sense of who we truly are?
All right, Gina. Good. Diving right in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Get right in there. Good job, Gina.
Think about it like if you're looking to this other person to validate you, then absolutely they're going to influence you. If you are able to separate yourself from this person in the sense of making sure that your connection is strong and you have self-love, then you can detach from that other person so you don't need their validation. Really, because you want to take your validation first. You want to listen to yourself first over other people. Like again, the getting the oxygen for yourself first before giving it to someone else. You want to be able to be filled up with that so that it's all coming from you and your higher self.
That's a
And
great point.
yeah.
And it kind of just reminds me of basing your happiness on someone else. Like maybe like the first time you fall in love, you think you're in love in high school or something like that, and the girl or guy breaks your heart, and now you're of course no heartbreak is fun, but I'm never gonna find another person like that. And if we were okay with ourselves, it wouldn't be that of a tragedy as much as we think it is at the time, right? When we're young.
Yeah, absolutely. The heartache will get replaced by self-love. You'll be able to integrate that in. And yeah, there'll be pain because there's a loss there, but it doesn't have to be as dramatic as it feels at the time.
Yeah, great point. Guys, I am speaking with the incredible Miss Julie Gasior. Julie, let me give you the last word, and please tell people how to get a hold of you. I've enjoyed this time. Great topic, great information, and enjoyed it. Thank you so much. So let me give you the last word, Julie.
You're very welcome. I really enjoy
Same here,
talking
same
with you too. So yes, you can go to my website, unlockyourshine.com. You can email me at julie@unlockyourshine.com or call 609-902-8335 or text. Don't have to call, you can text too.
Okay, Julie, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and can't wait to hear what you have to say next.
Thank you so
Right back.
much. Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.